The conference room on the 52nd floor smelled of leather and ambition. Nathan Reed sat across from a woman whose net worth probably exceeded the GDP of a small country. Vanessa Hart, CEO of Hart Industries, slid a document across the polished mahogany table. 30 days, she said. Her voice was cool, professional. You pretend to be my husband. We attend dinners, corporate events, family gatherings. At the end, you walk away with the $50,000 cash. Nathan stared at the contract. He hadn't slept more than 4 hours in the past week, working double shifts while his daughter Emma stayed with Mrs. Chen next door. 7 years old and already too familiar with, Daddy's working late, and, we'll get that next month. The $50,000 would pay off the medical debt from Sarah's final hospitalization. It would cover 6 months of rent. It would mean he could stop choosing between electricity and groceries. Why me? He asked. Because you're nobody. No social media presence. No connections to my world. And because you have a daughter, which makes it believable. Family man. Stable, she paused. The investors I'm courting want to see that I'm settled. Not the workaholic ice queen the press makes me out to be. You want to use my daughter. I want to borrow the appearance of having a family. Vanessa leaned back. Your daughter will be well compensated. New clothes, better schools. She'll have a better life for 30 days than most children get in a lifetime. Nathan's jaw tightened. He thought about Emma's face that morning, smiling at the free breakfast at school, because there hadn't been anything at home. He thought about the eviction notice in his jacket pocket. He signed the next morning. The penthouse occupied the entire top floor of Hart Tower. Emma's eyes went wide as moons when she saw her room. A canopy bed with princess sheets. A bookshelf already stocked. A window overlooking Central Park. Is this a castle? She whispered. It's a very tall apartment, Nathan said. Vanessa gave them the tour with the enthusiasm of someone showing off a hotel they'd never stayed in. Your room is this way, she said, opening a door to reveal a space bigger than their entire queen's apartment. Emma touched the bedspread like it might disappear. You did this. I had my assistant handle it. Vanessa checked her watch. I have a meeting in 20 minutes. The housekeeper comes daily. If you need anything, text me. We have our first public appearance tomorrow night. That first week was performance art. Nathan learned to smile at strangers, to stand close enough to look intimate but not possessive. He learned which fork to use, how to hold a wine glass, when to laugh at jokes that weren't funny. Emma adapted faster. She started at a private school, came home with stories about art class and a library bigger than their old apartment and friends who had their own iPads. Daddy, can we stay here forever? She asked on the 5th night. Nathan smoothed her hair. This is temporary, remember. Miss Vanessa is helping us, but it's not our real home. Why not? Because real homes don't come with expiration dates. Because I can't let you get attached to things we can't keep. Because we have our own place, he said instead. The change started small. On the 9th day, Nathan found Vanessa in the kitchen at 6 in the morning, coffee in hand, financial reports spread across the counter. She wore silk pajamas, no makeup, her hair loose. It was the first time she'd look human. You're up early, she said. Old habits. Nathan moved to the coffee maker. She talks about you constantly. Nathan paused. What? At breakfast? She tells me about your apartment in Queens, about Mrs. Chen, about how you make pancakes on Sundays even when there's barely any food. Vanessa looked up. She loves you very much. I'm her father. That doesn't always mean what you think it means. Something flickered across Vanessa's face. My father built Hart Industries from nothing. He was also rarely home, rarely present. I learned early that love and proximity aren't the same thing. I'm sorry, don't be. It made me who I am. She closed her folder. Emma asked me yesterday if I had any kids. When I said no, she asked if I was lonely. She said I seemed like I needed a family, and that maybe I could share hers for a little while. The words settled between them, impossibly honest in the way only children could be. She's getting attached, Nathan said quietly. To this place. To you. I know. Vanessa met his eyes. So am I. Day 16 arrived with unexpected snow. Emma pressed her face against the windows, asking if they could go to Central Park. Vanessa had a meeting scheduled, but found herself saying yes. They walked through the park like a real family, Emma between them holding both their hands. She pulled them toward the playground, the lake, a hot chocolate cart where Vanessa paid before Nathan could reach for his wallet. She's never seen this much snow, Nathan said, watching Emma try to catch flakes on her tongue. We couldn't afford to go anywhere when it snowed. Vanessa noticed things she'd never paid attention to before. The worn patches on Nathan's coat. The way he counted bills before purchases. Emma's gloves that didn't match and were slightly too small. I used to come here as a child. Vanessa heard herself say. My nanny would bring me. Never my parents. Did you mind? I didn't know any different. She watched Emma pack snow. I thought that was how families worked. It wasn't until college that I realized some children actually spent time with their parents. Emma ran over, cheeks pink. Miss Vanessa, can you help me build a snow fort? Daddy says he's too old. I said my back hurts. Nathan protested, same thing. Emma grabbed Vanessa's hand. Vanessa let herself be led. She'd negotiated billion-dollar deals, but she'd never built a snow fort. Emma directed her with confidence, showing her how to pack the snow, where to stack it. You're good at this, Emma said. Most grown-ups don't listen. Most grown-ups probably know more about snow forts than I do. That's not what I mean. Daddy says some people hear words but don't listen to what they mean. You listen to what I mean. Vanessa felt something tighten in her chest. This child was seeing her more clearly than most people ever bothered to. They finished the fort as the sun set. Emma pulled them inside the tiny structure. They sat crowded together, and Emma started singing a song from school. Vanessa joined in, stumbling over lyrics she didn't know. In that moment, cramped in a snow fort, Vanessa felt something she'd spent 32 years not knowing she was missing. She felt like she belonged somewhere. That night, Nathan found Vanessa at the windows, looking at the city lights. I had my assistant draft the investment papers today, she said. The Westbrook signed the deal's done. Technically, the contract is fulfilled. We still have 14 days. Do we need them? Nathan crossed to stand beside her. I don't know what we need anymore. 2 weeks ago, I could have told you exactly what this was. But now he stopped. Emma asks me every night if we can stay. Not for the penthouse. She asks because she likes having you around. And what do you tell her? That it's complicated. That's not an answer. No, Nathan agreed. It's not. They stood in silence, reflections overlapping in the glass. I'm not good at this, Vanessa said quietly. The personal stuff? I've spent my life learning to run a company. But nobody taught me how to just be with people. You're doing fine with Emma. Emma's easy. She's honest and doesn't expect anything except attention. Vanessa turned to him. You're more complicated. You're a man who signed a contract to pretend to be my husband, and somewhere started actually seeing me as a person. That's terrifying. Nathan understood. He'd felt it too. The way he'd started noticing how Vanessa took her coffee, the tired set of her shoulders after long days, the rare smile when Emma said something funny. We have 14 days left, he said. Maybe we should just see what happens. That's not very businesslike. No, but maybe that's the point. Vanessa looked at him for a long moment. Okay. 14 days, no contracts, no plans. We just see what happens. They shook hands, formal and ridiculous. But as Vanessa's hand lingered in his, neither pulled away quickly. The next week unfolded differently. Vanessa came home earlier, joined them for dinner. She helped Emma with homework without being asked. She laughed at Nathan's terrible jokes and didn't hide behind professional distance. Small moments accumulated. Vanessa teaching Emma to cook, both covered in flour. Nathan fixing the guest room door while Vanessa handed him tools. Emma asleep between them during movie night, her head on Vanessa's lap, but the calendar kept moving. Day 23, Day 25, Day 27. On Day 28, Vanessa came home early and asked Nathan to talk. Emma was at a birthday party, giving them privacy. I've been thinking about what happens after Day 30, she said in her office. Nathan's stomach dropped. Okay. The original contract stipulated 50,000 and a clean break. Vanessa picked up a folder. I'd like to propose an alternative. Inside were job offer documents. Director of Operations for Hart Industries Charitable Foundation. Salary of $120,000 annually. Full benefits, housing stipend for an apartment in the building. Why? Nathan asked. Because you're good at seeing what needs fixing. Because you care about people. Vanessa paused. Because Emma shouldn't have to leave her school. Because you shouldn't go back to warehouse work when you're capable of more. That's not why you're offering this. No. Vanessa admitted. It's not. The silence stretched between them. I'm terrified. Vanessa said quietly. When I think about you and Emma leaving tomorrow, when I think about this apartment being empty again, I feel like I'm losing something I didn't know I needed until it was almost gone. Nathan set down the folder. Vanessa, I'm not asking you to love me. I'm asking you to consider that Emma deserves to keep the life she's built here. And maybe we could figure out what this is between us without a deadline. I don't know. But I'd like the chance to find out. She smiled slightly. 30 more days, 60. However long it takes. Nathan thought about Emma's face that morning, about going back to Queens, about night shifts and counting pennies, and he thought about the woman in front of him, terrified and honest in a way he suspected she'd never been before. I need to talk to Emma first, he said. She needs to understand this isn't about the penthouse, and we do this without the contract. If I stay, it's because we're choosing it. Nathan, the job offer is legitimate. I know, but I need you to understand I'm not staying for the money. He stepped closer. If I stay, it's because I've watched you transform from someone who hired me like a prop into someone who builds snow forts with my daughter at midnight. Someone who cares. Even though you're terrified of caring. Vanessa's breath caught. That's not very practical, no. But maybe that's the point. So what happens now? Now we talk to Emma, then we figure out day 31. Without a contract. Without a contract. Day 29 arrived gray and cold. Nathan woke to find Vanessa already in the kitchen with coffee and reports she wasn't reading. I couldn't sleep, she admitted. I kept thinking about what we tell Emma. We tell her the truth. That the 30 days are over, but we'd like to keep trying this if she's okay with it. And if she asks what this is, we figure it out together. Nathan sat across from her. Emma doesn't need complex explanations. She just needs to know we're not going anywhere. Are we not going anywhere? Nathan thought about the job offer, about the apartment in Queens waiting empty, about how easy it would be to walk away. And he thought about the woman sitting across from him, who'd bought books for a child she'd never met and learned to build snow forts, and was terrified she'd accidentally let people matter. I'm not going anywhere, he said. Unless you want me to. I don't. Vanessa's voice was quiet but certain. You and Emma found your way through my walls without trying. That's terrifying and wonderful, and I don't know what to do except ask you not to leave. Emma's voice interrupted. Is today the last day? They both turned. Emma stood in the doorway in pajamas, her rabbit tucked under one arm. She looked small and worried. Come here, sweetheart. Nathan opened his arms, and Emma climbed into his lap. What do you know about the last day? I heard you talking. About 30 days being over. About going back to our old apartment. Her voice was very small. I don't want to go back, Daddy. I like it here. I like my school. I like having Miss Vanessa around. Vanessa reached across the table and took Emma's hand. What if you didn't have to go back? Emma looked up, hope and doubt warring. What do you mean? I mean the 30 days were just the beginning. If you and your dad want to stay, we could make that work. Different apartment in the building. Your dad would have a new job. We'd all be close. Together? Together. Emma looked between them. But what about you and Daddy? Are you still pretending, or is it real now? It's complicated, Nathan started. That's what grown-ups say when they don't want to explain, Emma said. Mrs. Chen says if something's too complicated to explain, it's usually because people are scared. You're right, Vanessa said. We're scared. Your dad and I started this as a business arrangement, but it became something else, something real. We're not sure what it is yet, but we'd like time to figure it out, if that's okay with you. Emma considered this seriously. Do you like my daddy? Very much. Does he make you smile? More than anyone else I've ever met. And Daddy, do you like Miss Vanessa? Yes, Nathan said simply. Okay then, Emma nodded. Mrs. Chen says when people like each other and make each other smile, they should spend more time together. So we should stay. But I have one condition. What's that? You have to stop calling each other Miss Vanessa and Mr. Nathan. That's weird. Use regular names like normal people? Nathan laughed. I think we can manage that. Good. Emma climbed down. Can I have pancakes? Just like that, the crisis was resolved. Emma wandered toward the kitchen while Nathan and Vanessa sat in stunned silence. Did our 7-year-old just give us relationship advice? Vanessa asked. Very effectively, too. They cooked together, Emma supervising from her stool. The morning light turned the kitchen golden. This, Nathan thought, was what mattered. These small moments that felt remarkably like family. After Emma left for school, Vanessa stopped Nathan with a hand on his arm. I meant what I said. About wanting to figure this out. So did I. We need to be realistic. I have a company to run. You'll be working. We can't exist in a bubble forever. No one's asking for a bubble. Just time to see if what we have without a contract is the same as what we had with one. Vanessa nodded. Time and space. We can do that. She was close enough that Nathan could see the vulnerability she usually hid. He reached up, smoothing the worry lines between her eyebrows with his thumb. We're going to be okay, he said. All of us. How do you know? Because we're already okay. The contract ending doesn't change that. Vanessa leaned forward, resting her forehead against his shoulder for just a moment. I'm glad you signed that contract, she whispered. Me too. 2 months after the contract ended, Nathan found Vanessa on her balcony at midnight, wrapped in a blanket and staring at the city. Can't sleep, he asked. Too many thoughts. She made room for him. I was thinking about that first day, when you walked in to sign the contract. I thought I was so smart, that I had everything figured out. She laughed softly. I didn't account for you being decent, or for Emma being wise, or for 30 days not being enough. As it's still complicated. Less than it was, but still scary. Nathan pulled her closer. I was thinking about day 30, about how terrified I was of losing this, of losing you and Emma's face when she's around you. Nathan, let me finish. He pulled a small box from his jacket. This isn't what you think. I'm not proposing. We're not there yet. But Emma and I went shopping, and she insisted we get you something that meant we were family. He opened the box. A simple silver bracelet with 3 charms. A tower, a snowflake, and a heart. The tower is where we met. The snowflake is the day in the park. And the heart is because Emma said every family needs one. Nathan felt suddenly self-conscious. It's not expensive or... Vanessa kissed him. Soft and certain and tasting like tears and hope. When she pulled back, her hands shook as she took the bracelet. Help me put it on. Nathan fastened the clasp. Vanessa studied the charms in the city lights. I love it, she whispered. I love that Emma picked it out. I love that you thought to do this. She looked up. I love. You can say it. I'm terrified to say it. Because saying it means I could lose it. Nathan cupped her face. You're not going to lose it. No more contracts, no more deadlines. Just us. Vanessa kissed him again, and when she pulled back, she said it. I love you. I love you both. And it terrifies me and amazes me, but I don't want to do it without you. Good thing you don't have to. They sat until dawn, wrapped in blankets and each other, watching the city wake up. Somewhere 43 floors below, Emma slept, surrounded by the family she'd helped build. 6 months after the contract ended, Vanessa hosted a dinner party. Her penthouse now had Emma's artwork on the walls and Nathan's books on shelves, and the accumulated debris of actually being lived in. Marcus and Patricia Westbrook were there, the investors who'd started it all. They watched Nathan and Vanessa move around each other with easy familiarity. You two aren't very good at pretending, Patricia said. Vanessa nearly dropped the wine bottle. Excuse me, that first dinner 6 months ago you were performing. This isn't a performance. This is real. I'm glad you figured out the difference. Emma ran in, chasing a balloon, and crashed into Vanessa's legs laughing. Vanessa caught her reflexively. Sorry, Vanessa! You're not sorry at all. Nope. Emma hugged her legs, then ran off. Nathan watched with an expression Patricia couldn't quite name. Pride, maybe. Or contentment. She calls you by your first name now. Patricia observed. We decided titles were too formal for family. Vanessa said quietly. Is that what you are? Family? Vanessa looked at Nathan, then at Emma. Yes, I think we are. Later, after guests had gone and Emma was asleep, Nathan found Vanessa cleaning the kitchen. Emma asked me something yesterday, she said. What? She asked if you were going to marry me for real this time. Nathan's heart stuttered. What did you tell her? That it was a question for us to answer together. Vanessa pulled back to look at him. But between us, I think I'd like to know the answer too. Are you asking me to marry you? I'm asking if you'd want to someday. Not now, but someday when it's not about contracts or appearances, but just because we want to be a family in every sense. Nathan thought about signing his name on that first contract, desperate and terrified. He thought about the past months of building something real. Yeah, he said. Someday. I'd like that very much. Good, that's settled then. Very businesslike of you. Old habits, she kissed him, but I'm learning. A year after the contract ended, Nathan woke to find Vanessa in Emma's room, sitting on the bed, watching their daughter sleep. Tears tracked her cheeks. Everything okay, he whispered. More than okay. Vanessa smiled through tears. I was thinking about that first day. When you walked in and I told myself it was just business. I can't imagine this room being empty now. Can't imagine my life being empty. I think we were both pretty lucky. Daddy. Vanessa. Emma's sleepy voice interrupted. Are you being weird again? Probably, Nathan admitted. Go back to sleep. Can't. You're being loud with your feelings. Emma smiled. Are you happy? Very. Vanessa said. Good, me too. Emma yawned. Mrs. Chen says when everyone's happy you should stay that way. Are we staying this way? Forever? Nathan promised. Forever ever? Forever ever. That evening, Vanessa came home with flowers and takeout, and an expression that was determination and terror. Emma announced she had homework, leaving them alone. Subtle, Nathan observed. Your daughter's been planning this for weeks. Vanessa set down the flowers with shaking hands. She told me if I was going to propose, I should do it properly. You talked to Emma before me. She cornered me and asked why I was waiting. Made a compelling argument about adults overthinking. Vanessa took a breath. So I'm trying not to overthink. She pulled out a small box. Nathan felt his world narrow to this moment. Nathan Reed, I hired you to pretend to be my husband for 30 days. But somewhere around day 16, I stopped pretending. By day 29, I couldn't imagine life without you and Emma. Now, a year later, I don't want to imagine it. She opened the box, revealing 2 rings. I'm asking you to marry me. For real this time. No contract, no deadline, just us choosing each other every day. Will you? Nathan pulled her into his arms, laughing and possibly crying. Yes, obviously yes. From Emma's room came a loud cheer. They both laughed and Nathan called, You can witness this properly! Emma burst out, throwing herself at them. I told you, grown-ups are so slow. Later, after Emma was asleep and rings were on their fingers, Nathan and Vanessa sat at the windows. No contract this time, Vanessa said. No contract. Nathan agreed. Just us, huh? Forever ever. And in the morning? They'd wake up and make breakfast and take Emma to school and do all the ordinary things that made a life. But underneath it all would be the truth they'd learned together, that the best things in life can't be contracted or negotiated or planned. They can only be chosen every single day.